Halo Season 1, Episode 2, titled Unbound, and this episode, of course, is the second episode of the first season of Halo. There will be a second season coming out at some point, might guess in 2024 or 2023 or whenever, but there will be another season. And the first episode, for a little bit of recap, I thought it was, I wouldn't say it was bad, I just thought it was like, meh. Fair. Yeah, it's just like there's a lot of criticisms that was happening while I was talking about the first episode of Halo. This episode, though, I was like, okay, now we're getting to something. Now I am engaged with the story. Now I'm intrigued and understand why it's already got a second season greenlit. Oh, I can understand X, Y, and Z. And this episode is about Master Chief heading to this asteroid city, like it's a city inside this asteroid. Hopefully it doesn't crash down to a certain planet or anything on those lines. But he goes to the said city asteroid to get answers of what is his artifact that works for me but doesn't work on anyone else. What is going on? How am I seeing this kid and the family? What visions am I seeing? Clearly the visions is the point of view of Master Chief or John, of what his life was before he joined the Spartans, or got taken with the Spartans, or whatever the situation is. And I just found this episode just markedly well done, markedly more appealing. I think what helps here is we meet a character, I completely forgot the character's name, who was going to become a Spartan, but backed away and walked away and living a different life. And you can kind of see the life that John could have if he just put the armor, left everything behind. Well, I guess he couldn't because he's the Master Chief, and you can't just give someone another piece of armor wearing the Master Chief armor and call it a day. But you see what John could have and what John's life is, which is orders, and finish the war. All his life knows about is there's a war against his alien race and we need to stop it. There's nothing else. And you can kind of see in John's face there's a certain affliction. There's a certain, like, John's still John, and his Master Chief's still Master Chief, but he's questioning himself. He's being a little bit eager, and I know it's gonna piss a lot of fans off, but let's be honest. Like, there's a reason why the character never took his helmet off. There's a reason why we never get any backstory, because it's a first-person shooter, and the idea is you are Master Chief, you are John, you are the one who's fighting who's stopping the war against the Conqueror. That's the concept, right? But for a show, we need to be invested. We need to be invested and care about John. And I think what's going to happen is John's going to still feel like John, but he's going to break his shell. He's going to, by the end of the season, he's going to break his shell. He's going to become a different Master Chief than what he was back in episode 1. And I think it's a really well-weighed, even the politics side of things, where we are at the military base and the organization that is running the Spartans. I found that really well put down. And even if it's most of it is, okay, 117, John Master Chief is off the loose, what do we do? What can we do? What is the punishment? He's the hero of this war. What can we do? We can't just do what we normally do. What do we do? And hints about Contana. Okay, I think I have like in my head, like the DC character or all that kind of stuff. But anyway, You got hints of her, which is clearly from the promo for next week. She's just gonna be this big giant hologram. She's not gonna be in Master Chief's hand or a voice in her head. Or they could do the whole like she's more like a ghostly hologram that kind of just goes every different type of size. Like it's going to be her, but it's going to be a very different type of her, if that makes sense. Even the stuff dealing with Covenant, it's a scene. It's a scene of a human the human Covenant, who's like, come on, let me be part of this. So, I'll be the one. I look like the humans. You guys do not. That I found handled pretty well. It's just this episode just made me go completely smack of it's a light and day situation. I don't need action, because I am hearing a lot of people was like, "Where's the action? Where's the action? It's Halo. I need things blowing up." I don't need that. I need characters. Characters create story, and if I don't care about the characters, or at least slightly invested with the characters, the action is meaningless. The action is just shit blowing up. I need to be invested with the story, and episode 1 didn't do that, but episode 2 did. I'm liking it. I'm liking this episode. And the stuff with Master Chief and was it Dr. Halsey, she, like, you can tell John kind of treats her like her mom, his mother, and thinking, you're the only person I trust. You're the only person I care about, Dr. Halsey. But she's just a scientist. I mean, she does care, but she's like a scientist first, and you can kind of feel that in a way. Looking forward to episode 3, and all that. Just very surprised by the episode. Even though I will say this, there's a scene where I assume we're in some kind of mental asylum, or version of a mental asylum, with the quickest doors ever. Like, people are just walking in and out. And I was like, is this meant to be a prison? Is this meant to be a mental asylum? Is this the idea they all have their separate rooms to protect themselves and somewhere to sleep? And to make sure that they don't escape? Because that's the case. You need to fix those doors, buddy. You really need to fix those doors, because people are just like pushing through in. It's just a weird. Just fix those doors, man. Fix those doors.